Hey, Lena here, checking in with episode 2 of InstaMinutes. We are studying the story of God, which is a story of hope. We are in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Verse 26, it says, "And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness." This is awesome. This is where the idea of the Imago Dei stems. The Imago Dei means we're made in the image of God. And when people talk about how we ought to respect one another, it doesn't matter what country you're from, what race you're from, what your socioeconomic status is, what you look like on the outside, the fact that your spirit is made in the image of God has value. You and I are born with value. That is why we ought to treat each other a certain way, and that is why racism is so evil, because you're spitting on God. That's why murder is so wrong, because when you take a life, when you disrespect someone, it is an affront against the divine who put his likeness on us. So every human being has inherent value. You might not feel like you have value today, but the fact that God made you in his image gives you unique value. Now, how is that? It's different than the value he gave animals. In fact, he goes on and says, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over the livestock and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. Then he gave them jobs to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. So in Eden, everything was perfect. Man was created perfectly. And then in the next lesson, we're going to spend talking about the fall. We still had the image of God after the fall. We just became marred. And so the story of redemption is a story of God restoring us back to his perfect image, Christ-likeness. And so, but still, even after the fall, the very essence of humans, so today, whether you're following God in obedience to Christ or not, every one of us is made in the image of God. Relationally, we long to have communion with one another. Intellectually, we have a brain. Creatively, we create. Think about all of those things when you go to a museum, when you listen to a piece of music, all of that, when you watch a movie and you see art, and so even stuff that might be marred now, you might say, well, that's really, I don't like watching that. That is not godly. Still, the creative effort is made in the image of God. Listen, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't see beauty, you've got to look past the outside and understand that in every one of us there's inherent beauty because we're made in the image of God. That is why racism is so wrong. That is why disrespecting people who are poor is so wrong, because at the end of the day, whether you're handicapped or whether you're complete, whether you're Brad Pitt, George Clooney, or me, we're made in the image of God. Now, how does that impact your life today? You tell me. How is the fact that you're made in the image of God changing the way that you treat yourself and that you treat one another? More importantly, how are you interacting with God because of that? He's given us a mind, he's given us a soul and a spirit to long for a relationship with himself. That's there for a reason. I hope you're capitalizing on it. I hope you're asking him, God, have your way in me no matter what, because I'm made in your image and I want to be more and more in your likeness. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow.